Let's get your reaction on the story now. The family of Enock Mpianzi have welcomed this action, but say it's a little too late. Wikus Steyl is the family's attorney and joins us now for a bit more on this. Wikus, thanks very much for your time and welcome to the AM report. Perhaps as a start, let me just begin by asking you to explain to us the state in which the Mpianzi family is in, especially considering that this matter is again back in the spotlight.
Good morning. The family is struggling. I spoke with them last night. Although they welcome the dismissal, they do not see that it's any form of justice. It's not going to bring back their boy, and it's no comfort to the family. They find it very difficult. It's now opened old wounds again when it's now in the public eye, but it's at least a process in the right direction. What the family is more concerned about is the criminal complaint and the status thereof, and the civil action against the school and the government. But ultimately, the justice that the family wants is for the school and the camp to be closed down and for someone to face prison for the death of their son.
Yeah, and in fact, I was going to get to that a bit later on in our discussion, but since you've already alluded to it, how far in the process are we in ensuring that, that process gets underway? Because I remember it was about March where the family did indicate that they want to pursue both civil and criminal court proceedings, if you like, against those implicated and involved in this killing.
The summons was issued last week, and it's with the sheriff to be served on the school, the governing body, the MEC, and the head of department, and on the camp itself. And that's for the amount of 20 million rand. The criminal case, I'm hoping to get an update today, because I am pushing for that as well. Money will not bring back their son, neither will criminal conviction, but at least there will be justice for the family, and we'll ensure that what happened to Enock and his family will hopefully not happen to any other family again.
Yeah, and insofar as the criminal proceedings are concerned, are there particular individuals that the family is hoping will be held accountable? Because, again, at that time, we were just told that this will be directed to the Gauteng Education Department as well as to the lodge itself. But, have you been able to trickle it down to specific individuals that the family feels needs to be held accountable?
Yeah, unfortunately, the criminal investigation is still underway, and I do not want to compromise that investigation. I don't know what the status is, so I cannot confirm yet who the suspects are or who the complaint is against, but you can accept that the camp and the school is being held responsible criminally.
Fair. Mpianzi is the MEC of Education in Gauteng. He had also released the findings and executive summary, if you like, of a forensic investigation that he undertook earlier on this year. I do wonder, as we stand now, does the family still have questions unanswered about what exactly happened the day Enock Mpianzi died?
Absolutely. The family, I've worked with them through the report and what was told to them by the MEC. They do not accept the findings or the findings specifically relating to how Enock died. If he drowned on a Wednesday and was only found on a Friday, they do not accept those circumstances. And the state that his body was found in also leads one to believe different to what the report has found. And those are the family sentiments. They do not believe the facts as it's set out in the report. They believe the true information is being withheld from them and it's being covered up by either the camp or by the school.
Outside of the discrepancy of when his body was found and when he is said to have died, are there any other murky grey areas that they're still trying to puzzle through?
They're trying to figure out the circumstances around the roll call list. How is it that a roll call is taken at the school the morning of the camp and thereafter not at all? How does the camp personnel and the school not notice that a boy is missing for 2 days? All of that does not make sense to the family. Specifically, why the family wasn't informed earlier that Enock was missing. They only found out shortly before his body was found. But it's those kind of details that the family want answers to, and they just haven't received it. And we hope, with especially the civil case, that in their plea, if the school and the MEC defends it, that the true facts will come out and the family will find some closure around the last few days of Enock's life.
Part of what's involved in the civil case is the family suing the Gauteng Education Department. A figure we heard initially was 10 million rand. In our conversation, you mentioned a 20 million rand figure. It appears to me that even though the department said they won't be opposing, there's a bit of a disagreement about how much should in fact be paid for this tragedy.
Yeah, so the initial figure of 10 million is per parent of Enock. So for his mom and his dad, 10 million claim each, so it's a total of 20 million. An offer was made a month or 3 ago by the MEC. I cannot divulge the details of that, but the family rejected it outright as it doesn't come even close to a percentage point of the claim. The family feel that it's hush money, and it will not teach anyone a lesson, for lack of a better term. It will not change the way of the school or the camp, and that's what the family ultimately wants.
All right, so obviously the department offered way less than the 20 million that's been asked for, that's what you're saying?
That's correct, without confirming the specific amount, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's leave it there. That's the time we have. Thanks very much for getting us into the picture as best as you can. Hopefully, as the story developments, we'll be able to bring you back on for a bit more of those confirmed details. Wikus Steyl is the attorney representing the Enock Mpianzi family. Again, a matter that for me completely takes me back to that moment where we were all just completely aghast at how a family will begin to even try and move forward after this incredible loss, especially in this way.
And how do you move forward when you don't have those kinds of details about the last days of your child's life? And just watching as we were playing the visuals of the funeral of Enock Mpianzi again during your interview, it's so incredibly heartbreaking. And what's more heartbreaking is that it was completely preventable.